to do an insight video today, and I'm going to discuss like reality and what does this mean. What does this mean to us as beings of consciousness, be energetic beings, and sort of like beings that are access to source energy, source vibration, and source frequency. And the reason why I want to talk about reality is not one thing; it's many things. And again, with a lot of the shifting in awareness and shifting in understanding as we move into this new spiritual age, it's the understanding that, you know, all is one and oneness, and that there's no separation, and we're just this energetic being that's always vibrating with consciousness. And consciousness is the key. It's the key to understanding. It's the key to shifting reality. It's the key to vibrating and creating a reality that is more aligned with you, with your infinite self and your soul. And many of us are sort of like see reality as something external, and it's something that affects us, and that, you know, is impacted us and is happening to us. And, you know, through the guidance and through the understanding that I've received a lot lately around creation and channeling, it's very much it's not, that's not the case with reality. It works for you, through you, and as you. You are the universe, and the universe is you. You are creation, and creation is you. And this is a shift in consciousness. This is a shift in understanding, and a shift in how we experience reality. And this is why I've talked a lot about in the past about sort of like the inner reality and the external reality. So that the 3D reality is a physical reality. It's the external reality, the reality that happens outside of you, where the true reality is what happens within you. And when you understand that, you know, you can live within vibration and frequency within you, within your own source energy, then you access what you call your source creator. And this is the shift. The shift is that you know, when you access your source creator, you have the understanding that your consciousness and your vibration and your frequency is what creates reality. The external reality isn't happening to you; it's happening for you, through you, and as you. And then you start to understand that you are the center of it. You are the universe is you. So you start to vibrate and start to master and navigate your own sort of reality, your own sort of life. And you start to see that you can create and manifest at will, and you can create and manifest what you will within your own reality, within your own life. And this is a really important sort of shift in consciousness. Many people talk about like, the fifth dimension. They talk about this notion of like the energetic reality and sort of like heaven on earth, and a new earth and a new vibration, new frequency. It's the understanding that, you know, source is always available to you. It's got to always be available because that's what you are. Your essence, you are source energy, source vibration, source frequency. You are the same as all beings, as all guides, as all masters. You are the same. The only difference is that when you're in this reality, that you're walking with a human form, but at your essence and within you is this source energy, this source creator. All beings that are all guides and beings of different dimensions and realities, and this is where we are like multi-dimensional beings, because we're always connected to it. We're never separate. We're always connected to this energy, and we know this. You know, we know this within our infinite selves, within our, you know, infinite selves and our infinite vibrations. We know this because we're born from it, we're created from it, and as we're created from it, we also, when we're in this form and we're in this reality, that because we're created from it, we are it. We are this source energy. You know, source is what creates all reality, all manifests all reality, and it's the energetic vibration of all creation. And we're born from that, so we are part of it. We cannot be disconnected from it. You know, whether we're in on this plane of existence or we're in another plane of existence, we cannot be separate from it. So once we start to understand that, we start to understand the potential, the opportunity, the power, the infinite sort of like vibrations, the infinite frequencies that are available to us and have always been available to us. We are all light beings of light vibration, light frequency, light energy, of infinite consciousness, and infinite source energy that can be used to manifest and create. And this is what the universal laws and their wisdom are trying to teach us, you know, through things like transformation and transmutation. It's talking about creation. It's talking about the source energy, the source creator in each and every being, that you have the ability to access this. You know, nothing is limited and everything is infinite, and there is nothing stopping you. The only thing that's stopping you is your when you access a level of consciousness where you sort of like you forget this, or you sort of like start to see the external world. And this can happen in many ways. It can happen in many ways through life. You know, something happens, it impacts us physically, or we have an experience with somebody where it creates doubt, fear, worry, anxiety, and then we just shift into this lower state of consciousness, or not even lower state, but a different state of consciousness. I don't even like to use the word lower and higher, because lower and higher labels something, making something that something's better than something else. It's just that the part. Source creation is everything. It's worry, fear, doubt, anxiety, but it's also love, peace, harmony, union. It's everything. Source is the creation of all things, you know, of all consciousness. And we always have a choice. We have a choice of what consciousness and what level of consciousness we want to live on, you know, or we want to vibrate on. And this is what creates reality. And it's the understanding that as a source being, all you ever really need to do is just remain in that vibration and know within your own inner reality that you can vibrate and release and shift. And this is what transformation and transmutation is about. Transmutation is going in through different states of consciousness and different states of being to experience and be aware of a new level of consciousness, a new level of reality. And but the thing is, the real key thing about consciousness and that experience of transmutation is that the reason why you experience it is because you're creating it, and you're creating it because you're living on a vibration, or you're expressing a vibration differently. It's like a new vibration, a new frequency. That's why you're experiencing a new reality. It's coming from you. Yeah, it's guided. It's guided through beings or like universal teachers that work with us, and you know these benevolent beings of like the archangels and universal teachers, universal masters, collectives. I mean, that's something that I've had lately, through sort of like doing some channeling, is talking more about collectives. And I think this is a new shift in consciousness, that there's a collective of beings that work with us. It's not just about one being. And when you start to look into this, you start to realize again that oneness is everything. You know, this alignment with oneness, that you know there's no separation, that all beings work on the same vibration of source creation, the source frequency, that all beings work on that, and we're connected to it. So we're always aligned, we're always unified, we're never separate. The separation is one of the biggest killers, I feel, for consciousness, for us as spiritual beings, that we feel that we're separate. And once we feel we're separate, that's when we feel alone. And then we also feel like then the impact of things that within our consciousness and our reality that start to then impact us. We're not separate. We've never been separate. We cannot be separate from what we are, what we're created, you know, what we're born into, which was source energy. And once you're born into that, then you've always got like a connection. You've always got a connection to that energy, and that energy never dies. It just transforms and changes. It's like when we move from this state of, or this dimension of reality, and we move into the infinite dimensions of reality. They're all different vibrations and frequencies, and all we do is shift consciousness. You know, the consciousness is that we are a light being of energy and frequency and vibration within a different reality without a human form. And that's what happens when we move over into a different dimension, what we call death, or you know, within this life. So it's about the understanding that you are eternal and you live in an eternal moment. You cannot be anything else but that, because you are eternal, because you're born of this source energy. And it's this shift of consciousness that we need to start to like align with. You know, walk as a vibration, as a frequency, and know that from your center, from your source energy, is where from all creation and manifestation comes from. There is no separation. And when you start to walk like that, then you start to vibrate. And when you start to vibrate within that sort of consciousness, then all reality aligns and starts to align with it, and then it starts to bring in that state of reality where you see that infinite vibration, that infinite frequency, that there's no limitation, there's only this infinite vibration that lives and vibrates within you, and that you can create and manifest from there. And when you start to do that, everything is possible, and nothing is limited. And this is the new shift of consciousness, that you start to receive, when you start to vibrate from that state of consciousness, then you start to receive, and things start to come in through from the universe, because you're vibrating on that state of consciousness, where you're seeing that all potentials and all and everything is available to you. So then the universe and its infinite sort of experience becomes available to you. And this is again like the law of attraction. The vibrations and frequencies of source energy and the consciousness is key to everything, because consciousness is reality, and consciousness is what helps you create reality. And then you start to receive, and when you start to receive, and you become an open channel for all possibilities, and then you become an open channel for like these infinite realities and these infinite possibilities within your life, within your consciousness, within your reality. And this is the shift in creation. This is the shift where you start to step into what I feel is like the sixth dimension, which is like your creator, where you start to live within that creator, and that you're the source of all creation. You're the source of all reality, and you're the source of like this consciousness that you can bring into your reality. And this is the state that we're starting to shift to. Like you've talked about third, fourth, fifth. The fourth dimension is very much around transformation. The third dimension is about physical, the external. So when you shift into like the fourth dimension, you start to shift into the inner reality, and you start to shift into transforming, creating, manifesting. And then when you shift into the fifth dimension, then you start to live as that vibration. You start to consciously express as that vibration. And then when you go into the sixth dimension, you start to create that. You start to live and create that vibration, and see that you are the source of your own reality through consciousness and vibration and frequency. And you know that source reality and source vibration and frequency are always available to you. So it's a really big shift, and it doesn't, it's like all in that eternal moment, that you're eternal and you can live in that eternal moment, that eternal vibration where there is no time. All there is just pure energy and pure creation and pure source energy that you can access to bring online. And the vibration, the frequency is beautiful. It feels so powerful. It feels so pure. It feels so expansive, and it's pure bliss. And this is what we're trying to shift to. So that the external world, you start to see that's not something impacting you. It's something that you can use, shift, change through your consciousness to mold and create. There's something that aligns with you for your soul's experience, your soul sort of like to create heaven on earth, and your infinite self and your soul are all connected. They're all connected in oneness. Whatever, when we talk about soul, infinite self, we talk about source, it's all one vibration, it's all one frequency. They're all aligned, and they're all aligned to work and vibrate, for you to experience and manifest heaven on earth, or this new vibration, this new frequency within your reality. And your soul is always doing that. It's always looking for the highest outcome, or the infinite outcome for you as a being of energy and light, and a being of consciousness. And we're always doing that, and there's no separation from that. And source energy, you're born into that, to awaken to that. We're all born to awaken to that. Well, that's the insight for today about creation and manifestation. Have a great day. Please subscribe, like, share, pose any questions. That's the insight for today.